How's it, everyone? Today I'm going to be discussing a symptom called a voltage drop. It usually occurs on your oldish cars, some modern cars as well. It's the scenario that usually affects the starting abilities of your vehicles. Now, what this voltage drop does, it makes it sound like you have a flat battery. Put the battery on charge, and the problem still persists. I've I've encountered this problem a few times on a few other vehicles. Um, so I'm going to show you today how to install a system into your car that will eliminate said voltage drop. Um, it's been 100% successful for me, and I'm hoping I can help somebody else, one of you guys out there. And there's no other way to put it, but just to explain what is a voltage drop. Well, the voltage drop is basically what occurs when you try to start your car and your voltage over a certain amount of time lowers to a point when it gets to the starter, through the loom to the starter, it isn't enough power for the starter to engage fully. So it sounds like you got a dead battery. And in normal electrical science, the more distance of wire you have, the more of a resistance you'll have, and the less voltages will be able to pull through the system. Look, just a disclaimer. I'm somebody that does all the work on his vehicles and stuff himself. So I'm not a professional, and all of this is self-taught knowledge. I just thought I'd pass on to the next person that'd be sitting in my shoes, and just wish they had somebody else to help them. So this is what these tutorial videos are about. Just to help the next person out in case they want to decide to diagnose and fix the problem themselves. Okay. So now I'm going to show you what exactly a voltage drop does. But before we get into that, make sure, 100% sure first, that it isn't a dead battery. I've replaced the battery already off camera, so I don't have video footage to show you of that. And I've tested the battery, and I've installed a new starter. The old one actually did back up over time. There was an old starter. I thought maybe that was the problem. Eventually put the new starter in, same problem. And the only conclusion I came to was a voltage drop because I've encountered a problem like this before. So yeah, let's get to it, and then I will show you how to install the system, and the best places to do it will be depending on the vehicle, depending on your preference. There's no right or wrong way of where to put the relay. It all comes down to how you prefer, where you want it. Preferably, I prefer keeping it as close to relays and fuses that's already installed on the vehicle. I'm just doing an add-on. Now, the relay system consists of your normal automotive wires. I prefer to use a 2.5 mil with a 4-pole relay, fused with some spade terminals and males, females, all of that things. I will show you in the video step by step how to build a system and then how to install it as well. So for now, let's try and get down to the issue we're trying to fix. Let's see. Guys, out of here. There we go. So yeah, that is the issue we're trying to solve. New battery, new starter. Still sounds like a flat battery. Hopefully you guys could hear it on the video. So let's get down to it and show you how to make that system that will save you a hell of a lot of headache. See you again. Story of my life, guys. Story of my life. This is the daily life of a backyard mechanic. Alright, so this is the system, components of the system I'll be installing. Here we have the most crucial part, the 4-pole relay. If you can see it there. This one is a 5-pole, don't worry about it. Two of them works on the same system as if you're running multiple systems of one relay. Then you get the 5-pole. But that's unnecessary since we're only going to be connecting the starter up. A 4-pole relay is fine. You usually have 30 or 40 amp relays. And yeah, you can see there. 1, 2. The camera, this light is bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we will only be using the outer 4. The inner one, that's just the secondary connection, whatever you want to connect up to it. Then the most crucial, secondary crucial part of the system is your fuse box. I'll be adding my own independent fuse holder. It's for your normal blade fuses. I never install anything electrical on my car without installing a fuse on the system. Last thing you want is a fire to start out and you lose your vehicle. Fuses save your car. Then I have 2 lengths of wire, one black for the ground or negative and one red for the positive. It's already pre-cut because I've already taken measurements in it already, so I know exactly what I'm working with. And then I have a few terminals here as well. I've got some females, and some eye crimps. A lot of these I'll be converting to males, so it'll be easier. I like using these ones. You can buy them at your automotive store as well. Not these specific ones, but the ones that have the females and the males, the spade connectors. Like majority of these items on here now, you can find at any automotive store, electrical store. You just give them a list of what you're looking for and they go and get it for you. So yeah. So let's get to the video, show you guys how to connect it up, and once it's done, show you more or less how the installation process works, and we take it from there. See, here we have a 40 amp, between a 30 and a 40 amp 12 volt DC relay. Okay, let's first start off by going and splitting this in half. So what I'll be doing is now I will be using each end to put a terminal on. Okay, nice. Okay, so that is for now. Let's just get this out the way. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to clean off these wires nicely. I think I just need to put it a little bit more. That should do it. That looks better. Oh, that was the wrong one. doesn't matter. Okay, now we go and add our spade terminals. You can see, try and get it so that you can firmly clamp it down. That is the most important thing. The last thing you want is a short connection, especially on DC voltage. It can cause a fire on any hot connection. So the last thing you want is a hot connection occurring. Let's go and clamp these down. Okay, like that. Now you want to be funny. Right. Okay. Right, that's the one side done. Usually I would use heat shrink on a system like this, but I ran out of heat shrink. Forgot to put it on the list. So now I'm going to use the good old electrical tape, insulation tape, PVC tape, whatever the name is that you guys know it by. It comes down to the same thing. So we close up this connection to the last so that you don't end up touching anything negative like the body or ground. It's the last thing you want. That is when you end up either blowing a fuse or causing a fire. So I'm just going to close these up nicely now. Okay, that's done. Let's get that out the way. Boom. Okay. That's the one. Quickly do the other side. At least I know that's done. There we go. I don't know if you can see how I'm joining it all together. That piece looks a bit long there. Let's trim that off. Go. Yeah, that looks better. Right, so now what you need to do is make sure that it's properly. I know the last one didn't look so great. There's no concern, it's still making contact, so that's the main thing. It's making firm contact, so that's all that matters. Okay, so now you see how nice. Always try and see if you can use terminals like this or connectors like this. Always make sure that you have these two bottom lips by the sheath of the wire. That will keep it firmly in place, and then try and get the length just with the eye. Try and measure how much you think you need there. Trim down if you need to, and clamp it down firmly. So let's get that to it. You see, that's the first one. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. See how I've clamped it down nicely. It's one or two strands out of place, but that's still making contact. So that's fine. Now, you'll see what I mean with these two bottom lips. They hold everything in place. They're like the anchors. So, we firmly press it down. Your turn. Don't fight me. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Nicely, it's bitten into the sheath as well of it. Beautiful. Now we go and seal that up. Once again, like I said previously, I ran out of heat shrink. Actually a beautiful product. I'll try and see if I can get an upload on that for you. Okay guys, quickly did something off camera. But I'll show you how to do the connection up, but for now I've done my fuse box relay, my fuse box, my fuse holder, sorry. I've now done the terminals up. I'll still show you how to do that. What this system does is this I'll be connecting to the positive of my battery, of which it will run to the relay. You'll have 4 poles in your relay. One will go to your negative, one will go negative or your ground, one will go to the positive side of your battery, one will go to the ignition, and one will go to the starter. Now how this system works is you've got I'll literally be putting a switch, which is technically what a relay is. It's an electrical switch that is activated from a signal. This will be in between the ignition and the starter. So what will happen is when you turn the key, the signal goes through to this box, which draws the power from your positive on your battery, then sends it through the whole system on the inside, and it sends the power through to your starter, telling your starter to start. So that is what's going to help me save on voltage drop. It's a shorter distance because I'll be putting it a lot closer to the starter, making the distance between the starter and the switch, the relay in other words, shorter, which means you don't lose as much voltage over a certain amount of meters. And that's usually where a voltage drop occurs, is when obviously wiring can play a big part in voltage drops on a lot of cars. Age of the wiring and stuff like that, the resistance builds up, voltage drops, and so on. So all I'm doing is I'm just shortening the distance so it doesn't have to travel that far. I've done this one up now. I will be posting a schematic of how to do the system, where what wire goes to, so don't panic guys, please. With this system, like I said before, you can literally use the system for a fuel pump, starter motor, even a fan if you want to. Those limitations are endless. There is no limitations that I can think of it, unless you guys have something that I can't use it for. More than welcome to learn. Like I said, I'm not a qualified mechanic, I'm not a qualified electrician for automotives. I'm all self-taught. You're a true backyard mechanic kind of guy, knows his stuff, learned as I went along, trial and error, those kind of things. So this is my first setup I've done now. I've taken the fuse holder, measured more or less where I wanted, clipped it in half, put on my terminals, and we are set to go for the next round. So now what I'll be doing is I will be adding wires now for my starter motor and my ignition wire. So that the ignition wire I want to keep red. My starter wire I'll keep black with my ground. It makes it easier for me. You can figure out how you want to do it, but for me this works perfectly. I don't need a long piece of wire for the red, so because I'll be clamping this down near the battery, my wire length from my positive to my relay won't be that long because the fuse box literally sits right next to my battery. So I think I'll keep it that centralized. Alright, there's a few things I still need to. As you can see, we've finished up now closing up our terminals. Now we need to get a piece of wire that I'll be doing that now off camera. I'll be adding a piece to the side that will be going onto this end And this end will be going directly onto my battery. And from there, directly onto my relay. That will be my power source. It worked for me in the past, still works for me. Let's go. Alright, here we go. Okay guys, as you can see, now at the vehicle. This is the plug that's going to come from the starter. So what I'll be doing is, I'll be connecting this relay to there. Also, where this plug went onto the starter, I'll be connecting the relay to there. Then, when my battery is positive, I'll be connecting the fuse. And then, I'll just have to find out where I'm going to connect the ground. I might end up grounding it to one of the ground plates on the body. If I can't find one, I'll ground it to the battery's negative. And we'll be all set. And it's obviously cleaning up, making it look neat, making it look tidy. And then we're all good to go. So let's get going and enjoy the ride. As well as if you can see, while you can see from here guys, I'll be putting the relay here. I've already got the nut, everything sorted. So this will be my central, as you can see here, as well as my other fuse boxes. So from here, I'll be running it to my negative. I think I'm going to ground it here for my coil. It's not a long piece of wire then. Or I will ground it up. No, I think I'll ground it up there. Every car is different. You just got to find a source of grounding that works for you. So yeah, let's get this going. First of all, let's get that one I'll leave for last. Let's get my ground wire first. So my ground wire will be going on to number 85 of my relay. And if you look underneath, the numbers are here at the bottom. You got your 85, 30, 86, 87, 87A. So we won't be using the middle one, so that's fine. So now we're going on to 85. Okay, beautiful, clicked on nicely. Since it will be here, I will ground it. If you can look nice, here's my coil. That bolt there, if that doesn't work, then I will use one of these bolts that's sitting over here. But anyway, to the body will be a ground. And I'm going to find a ground that I'm going to use while I'm busy doing this whole system. Right. So let's get everything in place. Let's get everything sorted. First, I just want to fasten. Okay, now I can't fasten down the relay. So my ground is going to be there. So my ground is by my coil. Let's see if I can get you a better angle here. Let's see, you can't really see much. Let me see if I can try and zoom it out for you. Let's see how that works. Straighten this out a bit. To give you a wider range, a wider angle. Let's have a look. Hi guys. There we go. Right. So let's get this out the way. Let's do the grounding. So measure my wire. Measure the wire. So if he's going to be there, I want this wire to go underneath here. So then a little bit extra, like I said, saved me in the past.
Okay. Might need that piece later. I'll have a look. Right. And this is what I was talking about, where I work from the relay out so that I can. Oh yes, before I start anything here, guys, please, please, please ask this of you very nicely. Whenever you're working on a vehicle, and I almost made this mistake now. Ever you're working electrical on a vehicle, always disconnect your battery. Negative side and positive side, I prefer it that way. You don't cause it unnecessary shorts, fuse blowing and everything. Let me just get a spanner for that quickly. Alright, back. Let's disconnect these batteries. Terminals. Right. Tragedy avoided. Okay. Let's get those terminals back on. Alright, where did I put that? Go. Okay. Let's close this up. I wonder who used this bloody insulation tape last and keep that bloody off. Right. We close this up so we don't get any water inside. And that it doesn't earth unnecessary against anything. Almost lost the vehicle because of negligent earth that was done by a previous owner. Right. So now that we've got our earth wire, will be running from there. And we'll be earthing it there. Run it underneath that one like that. And then, I don't know if you can see so well there, I'll be earthing it to the body right there. Okay. Next we have, see if I can get some nice angle for you. Next we have the starter, which will be going to 87. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to look for 87 on the relay. 87 is that one. Now we know that goes to the starter. Now I need to run it. So what I'm going to do is now, I don't know if you can see, I'll be running it around the battery where all the wires are situated here on the side. I'll be running it around the battery situated here because my starter is situated so far back behind the motor. So that will be my lifesaver. So let's get this wire fed through and we take it from there. Okay, so feed the wire through. Our wire will be going down like that, feeding it all the way through. Sorry guys, I don't have another angle for you, but more or less you want it where the wire that comes off the starter to the ignition, where that plug went on, that's where you want your new starter wire to go to from the relay. Let's get this all sorted out here, take some measurements. That. I'm happy with it. That's the length. I'm happy with that length. Okay, now that's rounded. Right. Good. Got an extra piece of red there, but it's fine. So now we're going to put another terminal on here that's going to go onto the starter. Another one of these on there, onto the starter, second wire done. Okay, let's close that up. Okay, so that wire goes onto the starter. Let's put that on there now while I'm at it. I know that's done. There we go. Oh, I love it when I measure it right like that. Okay. Next we have the ignition one. Goes to number 86. So 86. There we go. Clip. Same story. Running it behind the battery, same as the starter. Trying to hide most of the wires away. So that's all. That's really the whole point behind the whole thing. You want to hide the wires so you don't see it. Okay, let's take a measurement here. And that should do it. Yes, that should do it. Let's cut it off right there. Now this one, because the ignition wire going to the starter from the ignition is a female plug, I will be adding a male. It's the same as the previous ones. All I did is I just took the folds off on the sides. Bend it nice until you bend it over for a while so you can literally turn your female into a male. Okay. Let's get that one. Why are you fighting me like this? There we go. Okay. Close it up. Go. Boom. It's nice and done. Right. Now we join this up. You can see. Just turn the camera quickly. Here's the female plug that was for the starter. Here's the wire that goes onto here. Now this is the wire that will be coming, that will send signal from the ignition to the relay. From the relay, it will send the signal to the starter, and the car will start. Swing the motor, and there you go. So let's get those two plugs together. For extra security, just tape it up. Right. So that's 3 wires down. Okay, now for my last one. Where did it disappear to? Where did the wire go? My fuse. Ah, there we go. Right. Now, the final piece of the puzzle. I'll be adding my fuse to the system. You can see. Try to get the camera angle right for you. Right. So now, this part of the terminal, I'll be attempting to put it on this side. See, this one doesn't have those nice little clamps on them. Okay. I'll have to open up this section of the eye, and then yeah, we're done. For now, let's just get this onto the terminal, so that you'll have one left over, which will be number 30, and that's where this one goes onto. There you have it. Your system goes to your battery. You got a wire that goes to your starter, wire that goes to your ignition, and you got your ground. And that's practically how it's done, guys. That's the system. That's how it's done. If anything is unclear, please guys ask. I'll be more than willing to help. And hope to catch you in the next one. Please, if you like this video, help your fellow mates out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hope to entertain you some more, give some more knowledge. Got so much in my head right now that I'm willing to give to you guys. Willing to help wherever I can. Got a problem, let me know, and we'll sort it out. Cheers.